Disclaimer. This video's information is being provided for informational, educational, and general interest purposes only. The information in this video is not intended to shock, enrage, or otherwise provoke the viewer. The sole purpose of this video was to raise awareness of true crime-related events. Copyright disclaimer: under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976, allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, scholarship, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Non-profit, educational, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use.
For the 9-year-old boy's murder, a man has been taken into custody. Luis Rosario was detained after it was discovered that 4-year-old Andres Sanchez had been suffocated, despite the fact that he was a suspect in the child's death in 2001. Luis Gerardo Rosario, who was charged with first-degree murder and aggravated child abuse in connection with the death of Andres Sanchez on April 16, 2001, when Andres was 4 years old, was apprehended by Osceola County Sheriff's detectives. Rosario shared a home with the child's mother at the time of Andres' passing. Deputies were called to Halley Ridge Court on April 16, 2001, regarding a child who was not responding. Rosario informed the deputies that he had taken Andres swimming at a friend's house in Winter Springs earlier in the day. He reported that Andres appeared well despite having vomited after swallowing some water. When they got home, Rosario told the police Andres fell out of the car and hit his face on the sidewalk. Rosario informed the deputies soon after getting home Andres had gone to bed, and at 1:55 a.m., he discovered the child was unconscious. The boy's mom made a 911 call. Shortly after being brought to Celebration Hospital, Andres passed away. 10 months or so later, Andres' death was officially declared a homicide, and the coroner verified that suffocation was the cause of death. Since he was the only one with the child at the time of the incident, Rosario was a suspect, but there was insufficient evidence to bring charges against him. Rosario has been arrested multiple times for violent felonies and drug offenses since 2001. In August of 2008, detectives resumed their investigation. Detectives spoke with Andres' mother, who gave them leads, and witnesses who were in the vicinity of the child's home at the time of the incident in October. Rosario was declared incompetent to stand trial for prior charges stemming from an Orange County case, and detectives discovered that he was being held at a state mental hospital. Rosario's physicians, however, have determined that he is competent to face trial for both the prior and the new first-degree murder charge. In the case of the child's murder, investigators have uncovered new evidence, but they won't divulge it. A grand jury heard the presentation of that fresh evidence. Rosario was contacted by Osceola County Sheriff's detectives on July 15. When she refused to assist with the investigation, she was charged with aggravated child abuse and first-degree murder. He was admitted to the jail in Osceola County. The neighborhood has not returned to normal, despite the arrival of a new family in the house where Andres Sanchez was killed. A neighbor remarked, "It's tragic especially a little boy." Even those who relocated to the area following the boy's death are surprised that his murder went unpunished for almost 10 years. She remarked, "Especially if you lived next door and could picture that little kid playing outside and in the yard." Because Andres' mother lacked the funds for a burial plot and an official funeral, investigators pooled their resources to purchase a grave marker in his honor.
Doing okay? All right. Those on Detective Mosier with the Sheriff's Office. This is my partner, Detective Keating. I gotta figure out where she is. Yep. How long you been at Orange County? In the jail there?
I did like a year and a half, then I went to Gainesville.
To Gainesville?
Then from Gainesville I went to Chattahoochee.
Okay.
And I came back June 11.
Okay. Well, Louis, what I like to do is talk to you about some cases that you have in our county. Okay. But before I do that, obviously you're in custody and you're not free to leave. I'm going to read you your rights. Okay. You have the right to remain silent. You understand that? Is that yes?
Yeah.
Okay. Anything you say may be used against you in court. You understand?
Yes, sir.
You're entitled to talk to a lawyer before and during questioning. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
If you cannot afford a lawyer and want one won't be provided before and during questioning without charge. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I don't know how you do. Louis, is just whatever's easiest for you. I'll hold this. There's initial by each one of the answers that I mark yes by the questions. I'm saying that you understand it, and I'm going to have you sign right there. Thank you.
You there? You want to sit here? Doesn't matter.
No, you're fine. Louis, do you know where you're at today?
You know, Sutter County?
Okay. How far did you go in school?
11.
11th grade. All right. Next thing I'm gonna do, Louis, is I'm gonna swear you in. Okay. Must advise you I'm a law enforcement officer, empowered to administer oaths during a criminal investigation. Any false statement under oath is a misdemeanor in the first degree and punishable up to 1 year in the county jail under state statute 117.10. You understand what that means? You don't? You understand the difference between telling the truth and telling a lie?
I guess so.
Okay, if I told you this wall right here, if I told you this wall was black, would that be true or would that be a lie?
A lie?
Okay, and why would it be a lie?
Because it's what?
Because it's what?
White.
White. Okay, good. Basically what I'm telling you right now is we're going to talk to you about some things, okay, and if you're untruthful while we're talking to you, you can be charged for that. You can be charged for telling a lie. So if you were to tell me, if I ask you what color this is, and you tell me it's black, what would that be?
White.
But if you told me it was black, you would be what? Would you be telling the truth or would you be telling a lie?
A lie? I think so.
Okay, very good. Take me back. Were you born here, Louis? Where were you born at?
Puerto Rico.
Puerto Rico. And when did you come here to the United States?
94.
94. And who did you reside with when you came here?
My mother.
Your mother. Where did she live at?
Winter Spring.
Winter Springs. And how long did you live from her? From 94 till when?
I was staying on it also.
Okay. Were you residing with her the whole time, or did you live with anybody else, or
Yeah, I used to live with some different people.
different people? Okay. When was the first time you got arrested?
Until I was 94, 95, something like that.
Same year you came over?
Yeah.
All right. And after you got arrested, did you do any prison time, or you just went to the county jail? What happened?
Nah, the first time I got probation.
You got probation?
Yeah.
Okay. And how long were you on probation for?
I forgot. I don't
You
know.
forgot. When is the next time that you remember that? So 94, 95, you had probation. When was the next time you were incarcerated? When was the next time you were in trouble?
96.
96. What was your sentence in '96?
Prison.
Prison? How long did you go to prison for?
I think about 4 years, 3.5, 4 years, something like that.
3.5, 4 years? You remember what that was for?
Yeah.
What were you charged with?
Home invasion.
Home invasion? Were you by yourself?
Mm-mm.
Other people? Okay. Did that happen? That happened here in this county, or did that happen in Osceola or Orlando in Orange County? And you said you went to prison for 3 or 4 years. Who were you staying with at that time? '96 when you got arrested. Were you still with your mom?
Nah. I was staying with my mother-in-law.
With your mother-in-law? Okay. You went to prison in '96. You got out 3.5, 4 years later. When you got out of prison, who were you staying with?
My mom first.
Your mom first? Okay, and then who?
Then another girl.
And what was the girl's name?
Marilyn.
Marilyn? Okay. And did you and Marilyn reside together?
Yeah.
And where'd you live at?
First, we lived in St. Cloud Village, and then we moved to Celebration.
To Celebration? Okay. Inside Celebration, or?
Yeah.
Inside Celebration? Okay. When do you remember when you moved out there?
No.
Tell me, when you moved with Marilyn, you said you lived in St. Cloud Village Apartments. Okay. How long were you with Marilyn?
We stayed like a year and a half, something like that.
Year and a half. All right. Were y'all ever married?
Hmm.
How'd you meet Marilyn?
To a friend, to the wife of one of my friends.
What was her name?
I forgot.
You forgot?
Yeah.
You remember your friend's name?
I know his nickname.
What's that?
Tony.
Tony? And what was your relationship like with Marilyn?
Good.
It was good? Did y'all have any kids together?
Mm-mm.
No. Did she have any kids?
Yeah.
What was your relationship like with the kids?
Like they were my own.
I'm sorry?
Like they were my own.
They were your own? How many kids did she have?
3.
She had 3 kids? Do you remember their names?
Brian, Andres, and Victoria.
Brian, Andreas, and Victoria? All right. And when you and Marilyn were together, when you moved from St. Cloud, you said you moved out to Celebration, were both of you working? You and Marilyn? Did you work, or?
I was doing outside jobs.
Outside jobs. Tell me about that. What were you doing?
I tried driving truck once in a while.
Okay. And what was Marilyn doing?
She was working first in the mall, then she was working as an operator on thing.
An operator? And what was your relationship like with her?
Good.
It was good? Were y'all, you said you were never married though, right?
No.
What would you explain your relationship? Was she like your wife? Was she just a friend, or?
She was like my wife.
Like your wife? All right. Did the two of you ever have any problems? No? And when you lived there, do you remember how old Brian, Andreas, and Victoria, do you remember how old they were?
No.
All right. Do you remember if they were young or old, or? They were in elementary school or middle school or high school?
No.
No, you don't remember, or no, they were in elementary, or
I don't remember.
you don't remember? Okay. And did you ever? What did y'all used to do? You, Marilyn, and the kids. What'd you do? Take me through. You know, like you came back from work, or she got home from work. What would happen?
Nothing. She cooked.
She cooked.
We sit down and watch TV.
All right. Would you do anything else? No. And the whole time that you lived there, was there any problems in that house?
No.
No. The whole time that you lived there, was anybody hurt?
No.
No. No problems between Marilyn and you?
No.
All right. When you were living there at that residence, when's the next time? So you get out. It's got to be what, 1999, somewhere around there when you got out of prison, huh?
2000.
2000. Okay. You're with Marilyn for 2000. When's the next time you go to prison?
2002.
2002. Now, from 2000 to 2002, any problems with you or the kids, Marilyn?
No, it was perfect.
Perfect. Okay. In 2002, you went to prison again. You were living with Marilyn?
Mm-mm.
Okay. When did you leave Marilyn?
When I left her,
Yeah.
I was summertime 2001.
2001. Summertime. What made you leave?
She wanted to go to her by her own.
She wanted to go on her own?
Yeah.
Okay. Did she still have all of her kids?
Mm-mm.
No. Where were the kids at?
HRS.
HRS? All three of them were at HRS?
No.
Okay. Who was at HRS?
Vicky.
Vicky. And where was Brian and Andreas?
Brian was with his father, and Andrea passed away.
Andreas passed away?
Yeah.
When did Andreas pass away?
Between March or April.
Between March or April? What happened? Were you still with Marilyn then?
Yeah.
Okay. Tell me what happened.
Nothing. We came back from the pool that night by 11. I pulled in the driveway. I got in the car. They were like, wait for me, papi, and the zipper was loose.
Seatbelt was now.
The zipper.
You were at who was at the pool?
All of us.
Okay. Was Brian there?
No.
Okay, so it was you, Marilyn, Vicky,
Andrea.
and Andreas. Okay. And what were y'all doing at the pool?
Celebrating Easter.
So it was Easter?
Easter Day, yeah.
Okay. What did the kids get anything? Andreas get anything that day for Easter? What did he get?
Bought some chocolate.
Chocolate? How about Victoria?
She too.
She too? All right. And did she get that at home? Or what time did y'all go to the party?
About 12, 1 o'clock.
In the afternoon? Or
Yeah.
So they already got the chocolates before you left?
Yeah.
All right. Was before that, do you remember Andreas or Marilyn or Victoria? Were any of those three? Well, you said around March. Were any of those three ever injured or taken to the doctor for anything?
I think January last year we had a car accident.
Somebody had a car accident?
Yeah, while I was driving. With Marilyn. Marilyn had surgery in the arm.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So so when did that happen? When you and Marilyn got in a car accident?
I think January 2001.
2001? Of what? Of when? 2001?
January.
January? All right. How was Marilyn after the accident? Was she able to do the same things, or did you have to take over?
I had to take over a few things.
Okay. What did you take over? What did you have to do after the accident?
Help her out with the cooking, with the kids.
And were you still working at that time?
Yes and no.
Okay. How were y'all surviving? How were you able to eat? Where was the money coming from?
My mom was helping us.
Your mom was? Okay.
And she was getting child support and all that shit.
Okay. All right. So it had to be a lot of responsibility on you, huh? How did when the kids, if they did something wrong, how were they disciplined?
I used to put on time out.
You put them in timeout? All right. Did you ever, did you or Marilyn, did you guys ever spank the kids? Never? All right. So what would happen if they did something wrong? Tell me how you would do it. Where would timeout be?
Just standing watching the corner of the wall.
Okay. And how long did you make them stand there for?
For me, really, I didn't care. I found it funny.
I'm sorry?
For me, really, I didn't care. I found it funny. Though.
Oh, you found it funny?
Yeah.
So you were putting them in timeout, or Marilyn was doing it?
I didn't.
Oh, Marilyn put them in timeout. All right. What did y'all do did y'all ever, before the accident, did y'all ever go anywhere? Did y'all travel, go on vacation, anything as a family?
No.
No, just stayed home? Did the kids go to school?
Mm.
They didn't go to school? Were they old enough to go to school, or no?
No.
All right. So when you moved out there to, what made you move from St. Cloud to the new place? What made you move out there?
I fight in St. Cloud Village.
You what?
I fight.
Oh, you fight?
Yeah.
What was the problem there?
A bunch of black people.
They were giving you problems?
Yeah.
What were they doing?
Disrespecting man and everything. She come out of the car.
Oh, okay. That upset you?
Yeah.
When you say fight, were you just, were you arguing, or you were really fighting with them?
I really got beat up though.
You got beat up?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, what happened? What happened when you got beat up?
The ambulance came, the police came, they took me to the hospital and I came back on night time.
Oh, okay. Did you have any injuries?
Yeah.
All right. What happened? Where were you hurt at?
My fingers tissue on my fingers. I have another one here, this one.
Okay. What made you, you said in 96 that you went to jail, you were arrested for the home invasion. What made you, you seem like a nice guy, man. What made you start doing home invasions?
Really was my homeboy though.
It was who?
One of my friends.
One of your friends? What made him do it?
I don't know.
Was your friends at that time, or you ever taking any type of drugs?
Yeah.
And what were you doing?
Weed, heroin.
Yeah. Were you doing a lot of it?
Not really.
Not really. How much heroin were you doing?
About half a gram a day.
Half a gram? Every day? And how were you paying for that?
I used to get up front.
You used to get it up front?
Yeah.
And then you never had to pay?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, how would you pay?
For money.
For money? Where was your money coming from?
My mom's.
Your mom? You and your mom ever argue about that?
Yeah.
What did she tell you?
To stop it. That she wasn't gonna have me no more, this and that.
How about you and Marilyn?
As long as I stayed home, she was okay with it.
I'm sorry?
As long as I stayed home, she was okay with it.
As long as you stayed home? Alright. So you did, where'd you do it at? Did you do it there at the house?
Yeah.
Alright. And how would you do it? A needle?
Yeah.
And where did you put it at? Your arms?
Yeah.
What were you like when you did heroin?
Normal.
It didn't affect you? No? Alright. Well, take me through that day. You said y'all were you were at a pool party. You said about 11? Okay. And where was the pool party at? Was it where you lived or it was somewhere else?
Somewhere else.
Somewhere else. And when you left home, everything was okay?
Yeah.
Did Andreas, Victoria, Marilyn, or yourself, did you have any injuries?
Nah.
Okay.
Well, she had the one from the accident.
Just the accident?
Yeah.
Okay. Did the kids have any injuries?
Mm.
All right. Did you ever see anybody hit the kids?
Mm.
No? All right, so tell me, you get to the pool party. Where's the pool party at?
In Winter Spring.
Winter Springs. When you get to the pool party, tell me what happens.
Nothing. We sit over there and do the barbecue. We just sit over there the whole day. My mom came over. Tony came over with girl.
All right. How long were you there till?
The whole day.
All day?
Yeah. Until like 9:30 at night.
Okay. When you left there, was everybody okay?
Yeah.
Nobody was injured?
Mm-mm.
Okay. No marks on their body?
All I know of.
Okay. You leave there, tell me what happens. You leave there about 9:30, what happens next?
We jump in the car. We drive all the way home.
What kind of car did you have? I'm sorry.
RX-7.
RX-7? Was it yours?
Yeah.
What year was the car?
88.
88. Was there anything special about the car? How many seats did it have?
2.
2? All right. What can you tell me about the car? You have any problems with it? I mean, it ran good.
Yeah.
All right. Was it quiet? Was it loud?
But loud.
Loud. Okay. All right. So you leave there, and on your drive home, did you stop anywhere?
I don't think so.
Did you stop anywhere?
I don't think so.
Okay. When you get home, you remember about what time it is when you get home?
You are like 11, 10:30, 11.
11. Okay. What happens when you get home?
I come out of the car. And Andres told me, hold up, Papi. And when you were going to get out of the car, his foot got stuck in the seatbelt. So you fall flat on the concrete on the driveway.
He fell on the concrete?
Yeah.
All right. Did he have any injuries?
Yeah, when I picked him up, he had a bunch of scratches over here.
And tell me what happens when you get home. Who gets out of the car first?
Me.
Okay, who gets out of the car next?
Andre.
And who gets out of the car next?
Madeline.
Marilyn. And who gets out of the car next? Vicky. So once y'all get out of the car, what happens?
We go inside the house. And I tell Madeline to put Vicky to sleep because she was knocked out. There wasn't no reason for her to wake her up, take a shower.
So all of you go in the house together?
Yeah.
Okay, so you go in the house together, what happens next?
So I tell Madeline to put Andres to the shower because he was up.
And what about Victoria? What'd you do with her?
We put in bed. She was sleeping. She was knocked out.
She was out. Okay. All right. And you tell Marilyn to do what?
To put Andres in the shower.
Okay. Was Andreas was he complaining about being hurt? Was he crying at all?
No.
No. Okay. So you tell her who puts Vicky to bed? You do or Marilyn does?
Madeline does.
Marilyn puts her to bed? Okay. So when you come in the house, where do you go?
I go to my room. I finish take a shower too.
Okay. Did you and Marilyn have the same room?
Yeah,
Okay. And you had the same bathroom?
yeah,
So she puts Andreas where? In the extra bathroom?
yeah.
All right. So you go inside the house. You go inside to. You said you go inside to take a shower.
Yeah.
Okay. What happens next?
Le tiramos acomado. Andrea already in his pajamas, sitting in bed talking to Marilyn
Sitting in bed where?
in his room.
In his room.
Yeah,
And where's Marilyn at?
right next to him.
Right next to him. Okay.
She put some ointment on the scratches on the head, on the forehead.
Mm-hmm.
And I told him, you want to come and watch TV? They were like, nah, I'm tired. And then my mom, she had brought some big bunnies of chocolate.
Big what?
Big bunny, rabbits.
Oh, rabbit. Chocolate?
Rabbits, yeah.
Okay.
They were like, I want to eat one.
Mm-hmm.
And I gave it to him. I was like, no, he's going to stay out the whole night. I was like, give it.
Mm-hmm. She didn't want you to do it.
Yeah. So I did give it to him. He ate it.
Mm-hmm.
And he said good night. He fell asleep
Where did he eat the chocolate at?
in his room.
All right. So Marilyn's in there, and is Marilyn still in there when you give him the chocolate?
Yeah.
Okay. And she didn't want you to give it to him, but you gave it to him, so he's happy. Okay. What happens next? You give him the chocolate. Do y'all stay there till he finished?
Nah, not me. I went back to her room.
All right. And what did Marilyn say?
No, she nothing. I guess she put him to sleep. She gave me a key to the night.
All right. And what do you do when you go to your room?
Lay down, turn on the TV.
Lay down, turn the TV. All right. What happens next?
Next, about from 12:30 to 1 o'clock, I woke up. I was up already. I got out of the room. I went to the kitchen. And I was going to get some ice. But something told me to check the keys, though. So I went down the hallway. I checked Victoria. She very flat, knocked out. And when I looked to Andrea's room, we had a light so he can see towards the bathroom.
Mm-hmm.
And I see something on his face. So when I turned the light on, he had like foam on his face,
Where was he at?
in his bed, laying down
Was he laying on his stomach or was he laying on his back?
on his back.
Okay. And what happens?
I screamed for Marilyn. And I pulled out the bed, we put it on the floor.
You said it's about 12:30.
For 1 o'clock,
Okay.
like that. And we put him on the floor. And Marilyn came quick. She wiped the phone with one of the sheets. And we called 911. They started telling him how to do CPR.
And who called 911?
Marilyn.
Marilyn did. All right. So you walk in, you see him with the phone. Do you try to help him at all? What do you do?
I was shocked though.
Uh-huh.
I couldn't believe it.
Okay. And you called Marilyn, and Marilyn came in. All right. You said it's about 12:30.
1 o'clock.
Okay. And how long did it take for you guys to call 911?
Nothing.
You did it right then?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. And after you call 911 or she called 911, what are you doing?
I was standing in church looking at them.
Okay. Were you saying anything?
Yeah.
What were you saying?
I was telling her, follow what the lady say, the CPR stuff.
And were you telling her that in English or in Spanish?
Spanish.
Okay. So what were you saying in Spanish? Tell me what you were saying.
I was like, I don't know what happened, man. We'll do something about it.
Mm-hmm.
I could tell already his body was like pale.
Mm-hmm.
So, next thing I know, in 5 minutes, a police officer came.
Mm-hmm. Within 5 minutes?
Yeah, we were
Okay.
quick. A police officer came. And he saw Marilyn doing CPR. I was like, man, do something. He was like, no, she's doing okay.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, shh. Then the ambulance came, the fire department came.
Okay.
They took him out of the room. I was like, yo, bring it back. They were like, I detective came and told me, you going to the hospital? I said, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He said, well, I feel you to take him now. I said, okay. So I left. I left the house open with everybody inside.
Okay. Did you go in the ambulance or you drove?
I drove.
Okay. That night, where did you park the car at when you came home?
In the driveway.
In the driveway? Alright. So the car stayed in the driveway the whole time?
No, I left in the car.
Right, but I'm saying until you left, you followed the ambulance?
Yeah.
But when you came home and then when you left, the car stayed in the driveway?
I don't know. I don't know if I got the time to put in the garage or what.
Okay. Did you ever park the car in the garage?
Yeah.
You did? How often would you do that?
Not that often though, like 4 days out of a week, something like that.
4 days you put it in the garage? Okay. Alright, so you follow the ambulance, you get to the hospital, you left Maryland and Victoria stayed at the house?
No, I gave Victoria to my neighbor.
Uh-huh.
Amani went with me.
In the car?
Yeah.
Alright. What were you talking about in the car?
I couldn't believe it.
Uh-huh.
She was crying, like, oh, be strong, you know, we're going to bring it back.
Mm-hmm. You were telling her to be strong? Alright.
So soon we got to the hospital. I left the car right in the emergency door. When we came out, and our nurse told us to follow her. They put her in a room like this. And the doctor came and told him he couldn't save him.
You said what now?
The doctor came and said he was dead, they couldn't save him.
Who were you telling that to?
The doctor to us.
Oh, the doctor. Oh, the doctor was telling you were going to save him. Okay. What happens next?
Then I was frustrated. I opened the door, I went outside. I break the windows of the car, I kicked them.
Uh-huh.
So I got scars on my ankle.
What made you do that?
Frustrated though.
You were frustrated?
Yeah.
Why?
Because by that time I quit doing heroin, I was doing good, I wasn't drinking, I was doing everything perfect.
Okay.
Then I look at it like I was doing everything perfect.
So you wasn't that Easter Sunday, you wasn't doing any heroin?
Nah.
Was you drinking?
Mm-mm.
So you was good. You in your right mind, sound mind.
Yeah.
Okay. So you frustrated, you kicking the windows, then what happens?
And when I go back inside, I'll see mine in the room and they tell me she's trying to drink a bunch of pills.
Okay.
So I got her on suicide watch.
Okay.
So then they went to the autopsy. I couldn't. The detective came. I gave it a statement. I know the detective came. I gave it the same statement. And they told me I couldn't leave until next day until the autopsy was done. So the autopsy was done by Monday. And then they came and told it was natural cause. That he had a asthma attack and he had convulsions after that.
Who had an asthma attack?
Andres.
Okay.
So he was asthmatic though.
Huh?
He was asthmatic.
Okay. You said you couldn't leave. You had to wait for the autopsy report.
Yeah.
All right.
Which I understand though why. You know what I'm saying?
Uh-huh.
Because over here in Florida, they were killing the kids right and left.
Okay. And so the autopsy came back and they said he died from what?
That he had an asthma attack and he had a convulsion.
Okay.
And shock on him. That's all they say.
All right. Did y'all have was there a service or a funeral for Andres?
Yeah,
Okay. Did you go to that?
I couldn't go.
What happened? Why?
Because Andres' married ex-husband, since they pay for the funeral,
Mm-hmm.
they put a restriction on it, I couldn't go in.
Okay. Why you think? You don't know? Did you ever have any problems with him?
Yeah.
Oh, you had problems? Okay. You guys argued or fought or what?
No, one night we were finna fight.
Huh?
One night we were finna fight though.
What were y'all gonna fight for?
Well, he left because you two come out all drunk at 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, banging the door, looking for her.
Oh, okay. All right. So, after they had the funeral, after the funeral, were you and Marilyn still together?
Yeah, we did that for a month.
Okay. Now I know that the police talked to you that night, and a couple of detectives talked to you. After the funeral, were you ever contacted again by another detective?
Hmm.
Okay. Did a detective come and talk to you while you were in jail?
Hmm.
Okay. Did you ever have any arguments or any problems with Marilyn after that?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So since that funeral, and you stayed with Marilyn for about another month, then where did you go after that?
I went to stay with a friend of mine in Waterways.
In Waterways? Where's that at?
By the Rosario Mall.
Oh, okay. All right. And so that's still 2001?
Yeah.
All right. When's the next time you get arrested?
I got arrested right in Waterways.
In 2001?
Yeah.
For what?
Possession of heroin, I sent to cell.
Possession of heroin intent?
Mm-hmm.
Did you go to prison?
Yeah.
Okay. How long did you go to prison for?
2 years.
2 years. And where did you go to prison at?
Putnam.
Putnam. All right. And no detective came and talked to you?
Mm-hmm.
Nobody? Okay. Do you remember a Detective King coming and talking to you?
He was a detective. He came while I was here in the county waiting.
In the county jail?
Yeah, when I was waiting on the possession.
Okay. 2002?
Yeah.
He came and talked to you?
Yeah.
What did he talk to you about?
Same old thing you telling me.
Same thing? Okay. Did he ask you about anything with Marilyn? He asked you if you hurt Marilyn or?
Yeah, he came. They charged me with aggravated assault with bodily harm or malice for her arm.
Right.
But she had 4 different versions to it. And
No.
I went to court and the judge even told me, listen, I'm going to give you a year probation. You want? I was like, nah, I didn't do it. If I didn't do it, I'm playing to it.
Okay.
So they ended up dropping down the case.
You said they closed the case?
Yeah.
Okay. And so you go to prison then in 2001, you get arrested. And you say you go for 2 years? So you come out, what, 2003?
In 2003, 2004.
That's when you came out? All right. And then you got arrested again, right?
I went to Puerto Rico.
Oh, you went to Puerto Rico? Okay. And how long did you go to Puerto Rico for?
For a year and a half.
Okay, so when you come back, what year is it?
2006.
Okay. Did you get arrested in 2000?
2005, but I came good in December.
2005 what?
I came from Puerto Rico, it was December.
Okay, in December 2005?
Yeah.
Okay. And what happened from 2005? You get arrested again?
Yeah.
And what did you get arrested for next time?
Possession of marijuana.
Possession of marijuana? All right. Did you go back to prison again?
Nah.
Okay. You just stayed in the jail?
Nah, they gave me community service.
Community service? Okay, and then after that, did you get arrested again?
Yeah.
Okay, and what was that about?
Discharge, I'm here now.
The charge, okay. And then from there, that was in 06, right?
Yeah.
And then you went to Chattahoochee?
Yeah. I
Okay.
went to Gainesville Hospital first.
Gainesville Hospital?
And from Gainesville, they shipped me to Chattahoochee.
Okay. And then you came back from Chattahoochee to Orange County
Yeah.
just a couple months ago, right? All right. That night when you went to check on, you said you felt something, go check on Andres. Where was Marilyn at? Was she?
Laying down, sleeping.
She was sleeping. All right. When y'all went to bed at night, did you lock the house?
Yeah.
All right. Is there any way that night anybody else could have came in the house?
Nah.
Okay, it was just you and Marilyn?
Yeah.
And are you the only one that stayed awake during that time?
Yeah.
Okay, and Marilyn went to sleep? And there was no arguments between you and Marilyn? Okay. All right. I'm going to go out here and check a couple things, and I'll be back in. You want something to drink or anything?
I need to go to the bathroom.
You go to the bathroom? Okay. Give me just a minute and we'll take you, okay?
All
All right, bye.
Can I get a cigarette?
Hey, a cigarette? We don't smoke, but I try to find you one in a little while.
Appreciate it.
All right, man. Come on, let's run to the restroom. Anything to drink, Louis? What do you like? Want some water? Okay, go ahead and have a seat. I'll get you some water.
Are you okay with that over there?
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine.
Tanta se cree que uno es. Por entrar, bendito sea Dios. En 5 años todavía estoy jodiendo con lo mismo. Coño.
Got it?
Yeah. You can give me a cigarette?
We'll work on that. I'll be right back. You don't want to fold it?
No, I think you left out there.
All right. Louis, we have to do this just for the record. We took a going back to talk to you again. Tape's been running, but all we did was we stopped. We went to the bathroom, took you to the bathroom, and we brought you back. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay. Now we're back in the interview room. No interviews took place outside of here. We took you to the bathroom. We brought you back here, and we're going to get started again. Right? Is that correct?
Yeah.
All right. Do you swear that the information that you've given us so far up to this point has been the truth, the whole truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
All right. Very good. All right. I'm going to press on. In the beginning, we talked earlier about the autopsy report, and you said it was from an asthma reaction that Andreas had. Since that time, when the autopsy was done, when Detective King came and talked to you, did he tell you that the medical examiner found something different with Andreas? All right. Well, that was the reasoning for Detective King going and speaking to you, because 10 months later, it took about 10 months. A lot of things took some time to develop. Some new facts were brought to the case. Some new witnesses came through with the case. And 10 months later, Andreas' death was ruled a homicide. It was not ruled an accident. It was ruled that a homicide, that he had been killed. So that night that you and Marilyn and Victoria was in the house, that night someone killed Andreas. It wasn't by accident. It wasn't by chance. Andreas died as a result of somebody else. So that's why we're here today. It's taken a long time. This case was reopened when Detective King went and talked to you. He talked to you somewhat. The case was kind of put on the shelf, and we're back here today. We're back here today to talk about it. Okay. That night, since that night, and since that time, the reason why the medical examiner was able to go back and even confirms it today that it was a homicide is by everything that happened, by the evidence of Andreas's body and the injuries that he had to his body, and that's why we're here. There's no doubt that I think that you're a good man. You said you loved them kids like they were your own, but something happened, and that's what we're here to find out today is what happened. So, I want to go back and kind of touch on some things, not to try to upset you, but I need to find out what happened. Something happened. Now, you told me earlier that there was no possible way that anybody else came in the house that night.
No.
So that tells me that either you or Marilyn or Victoria are responsible for Andreas' death because there's nobody else in the house. Do you agree with that?
No.
When you came home that night, there were some people that witnessed when y'all came home that night. They explained when you came home that night at about 11:30, I think 11:36 to be precise. Some things were going on in the driveway. They tell us a little bit different story than what you told. The only thing that I'm trying to seek here today is the truth. So you know that I'm not lying to you. We have a newspaper article that tells.
Yeah, I read that.
You read this? You seen it before?
Yeah.
Okay. And and what did you think when you read that?
I can't believe it, man.
What do you think happened?
I don't know. I thought you already what happened that night.
Well, let's go back and talk about what you told us, because I have your first interview with the police that night. I have your interview with Detective King, and since that time I've talked to everybody involved, Victoria, Marilyn, everybody that lived there, friends, family, and I'm trying to explain because what you're telling me really doesn't match the evidence that we have. You told me, and I'll just confirm it, you told me that Andreas, the only injury he had that you could see was on his forehead.
Yeah, I'll tell you full, yeah.
Is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, the problem is that Andreas has many injuries to his body, not just one, he has multiple.
He has some bruises on his leg.
Mm-hmm.
That was it.
Well, how did he get the bruises on his leg?
At one time he jumped down the pool, it was deep, and I just sunk him out with both legs. That was all.
Okay. Do you know how long it takes for a bruise to show?
Mm-mm.
Well, if I was to hit you, the bruise. If I hit you right now, the bruise is probably not going to be there today, is it?
I don't know.
Well, I'm telling you, it's not. If I hit you down, I want to hit you to prove it to you. But if I was to punch you in the leg, bruising is not gonna show right away. You know, it's kind of like you ever watch boxing? You watch fighters? You've been in a fight before. Sometimes the night before they don't look so bad. What do they look like the next day? They don't look good, all right? They look rough, all right? That's the same thing that happens with bruising. So those injuries that he had couldn't have been sustained all that day. The bruising, the staging of the bruising, there's some bruising that was there days prior. There's some bruising that was there that day. Because as a bruise, it changes colors. You ever had a bruise?
Yeah.
Sometimes it may come purple,
Yeah,
brown,
yeah,
and it changes colors, right? That's the stages of the bruises. Now, as I said before, you know, it took a little while for these results to come about. It took longer than it should. It's happened Easter 2001, and here we are today. And I didn't even do that today. We didn't even do that today, but today, July 15, 2010, here we are almost, 9 years later, you know, trying to sort this thing out. So, speaking to everybody that's involved in this, they tell me a little bit different story. All I know is that their story they're telling me matches what happened. The story you're telling me doesn't match what happened. Okay, because something happened to Andres that night.
Yeah.
And I'm being told what happened by other people, but I'm not being told by you. Now, I could imagine that for 9 years, this has got to be something that's weighed heavy on you for a long time. You know, this is your chance to tell us what happened, to get it out. You understand?
Yeah.
To get it off your chest, because you know science doesn't tell me. You know, I mean, I can just tell you little things. You know, your muffler on your car that night. You know, it was loud. You know, when you come home, people heard it. You know, people didn't just hear the muffler. People heard Andres. Okay, you told me that Andres was quiet. You know, he wasn't crying.
When he fought, he was crying though.
Okay, but once he went in,
Once we went to the room, once we went to the house, he stopped crying though.
yeah,
I
well,
carried him.
huh?
I carried him to inside the house.
Okay, you carried him in the house.
Yeah.
Okay, and once he went in the house, all right, crying stops.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, there's a reason why I believe that his crying stops. There's reasons why he has injuries over his body that just didn't happen. Okay, I know for a fact that somebody in that house hit Andres. Not once, hit him a lot of times. Probably, if I had to guess, 9 years later, probably with a shoe, based on the pictures that I'm looking at. And maybe he was spanked with a shoe, maybe he was hit with a shoe, but he was definitely hit. Okay, Andres was 4 years old. 4 years old. Okay. I'm here to try to find out what happened to little Andres. Obviously, he can't talk to me. He's dead. Okay. He can't come out and talk like we're talking, but he is talking to me. His injuries are talking to me, and he's been talking to me. And he's been talking to me ever since we opened this case, where it was in 2008 when they gave it to me. Okay. He's been talking to me, telling me what happened that night. And what he's telling me by his body and what he's telling me in my heart right here, I know what you're telling me is not true. It didn't happen that way. You know, I don't know what else to tell you. You know, I have, you know, what do I believe? You know, I believe what the witnesses and other people are telling me. You told me that once you went in the house that it took, I don't know, you got home 11:30. You know, how long does it take for you to put Andres to bed? How long does it take?
I finished the shower. When I came out of the shower, he already was sitting in bed with Marilyn.
Okay. And then you said you gave him some chocolate,
Yeah.
right? In your first story, you said you didn't give him chocolate. You said you gave him a gummy bear. Okay, now you're telling me you gave him chocolate. The autopsy didn't show chocolate nor a gummy bear in his stomach. Okay. So I don't know what to believe. The little things are not even matching up. You said that it came back and it was probably around 12:30 when you went back to check on him and he wasn't breathing. Is that true?
1 o'clock.
1 o'clock? Okay. What time do you think Marilyn called the sheriff? What time do you think Marilyn called 911?
Right away.
Right away?
Yeah.
You know what time we got the call? 1:55 is when we got the call. What happened between 12:30 when he wasn't breathing and 1:55?
I don't know.
Well, you told me you were the only one awake,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, we went to bed and she fell asleep watching TV with me.
Okay. All right. I know it's got to be difficult. Louis, it's been a long time, many years. All right, but you told me out of your own mouth. I'm not making this up. 12:30, 1 o'clock is when you find him. He's not breathing. You know, when they call 911, when the calls come in, it's documented, bro. They have it recorded. It's written down. As soon as it comes in, it's by computer. All right. Call doesn't come in until 1:55. So you know what I think? I think something bad happened. And I think maybe you got a little bit panicked from 12:30 to 1 o'clock, trying to figure out what you're going to do.
No.
Well, then you tell me what happened then, because I'm missing about an hour to an hour and a half after you find Andreas not breathing and his body's white, probably dead. Okay? Once you find him that way, or you leave him that way, right? An hour to an hour and a half passes that you don't call 911, you don't get any help for him, you don't do anything. So tell me what's happening between 12:30 to 1 o'clock. I'll even give you the 1 o'clock. You say 1 o'clock, but I believe when you went in that house at 11:36, I believe by 12:30, Andreas is dead. I believe by 12:30 he's dead, because the evidence tells us he's already dead. Okay? But you don't call us until 1:55. So now I have to explain what happened. What happened between 12:30 and 1:55, because Andreas is dead at 12:30. He's already dead. Okay? But you don't call. And you don't let Marilyn call 911. All right? There's a lot going on.
I don't let Marilyn call 911.
I'm sorry?
I don't let Marilyn call 911.
Mm-mm.
Who said that?
Mm-mm. There's only 2 other people in the house. Right? I don't think that you meant, you know, I believe you, did you love Andreas?
Yeah.
Okay, I believe you did. Okay, but something happened. Sometimes, you know, I have kids. Sometimes we get angry when they won't stop crying. Sometimes we get angry when they won't do what we want to do. You know, I don't know, maybe that night a combination of things. Andreas crying. You know, maybe you wanting to be with Marilyn, she told you no. Maybe you're very frustrated. I don't, listen to me, Louis. One thing I'm not going to do is lie to you. Okay, I don't know. I'm just guessing, because you're not telling me what happened. The first story you gave me, and the story you gave that night, and the story you gave to Detective King, we all know that's a lie. Okay, that's like saying this wall is black when it's white. That story is not accurate, because the problem is what you didn't realize, and probably what you'd never think, is that then Marilyn would never tell me the truth. Okay? You didn't realize that night that neighbors were watching what was going on and was wakened by your car. You're probably not banking on all that. And before, you know, when they talk to you, I don't know why, but looking at it now, I can tell you, because science tells us. You know, by the time Andres got to the hospital, we get the call at 1:55. By the time he gets to the hospital at 2:15, his body temperature is already 91.2. So, you know what that has a tendency to tell me? That he was dead by 12:30. He was already dead. You tell me, you help me put the last piece of the puzzle together, okay? Because I'm pretty confident I know what happened, all right? I know the first story that you told us that night, the first story you told me today is not accurate. Okay, when you went in that room at 12:30, Andres already dead. He's dead. 12:30, 1:55, you finally decide to let her call 911. 12:30, 1:55. Okay, what's going on?
12:30 guessing.
Huh?
I'm guessing when I said 12:30.
I think you're right. I think you're right. I believe that. I believe at 12:30, when you saw Andres, he was dead. I believe that. I believe it. Okay?
I would have made mine call 911 right away.
But you didn't. But you didn't.
But I was in the room.
But, huh?
I was in the room watching TV.
No, that's not what happened, Louis. The evidence doesn't show. Listen, the evidence points, okay? Because once we die, right, our body temperature, our normal temperature, you've been in Chattahoochee. They take your temperature, they take your blood pressure, I'm sure, they evaluate you, right? And we know it's about 98.9, 99, somewhere around 98.9. That's what our body's supposed to be, okay? When our body drops that many degrees, our body doesn't drop that many degrees that fast. You understand? That when she called at 1:55, if it just happened, Andres' body would still be warm, not cold. But Andres is cold to the touch. You know why he's cold to the touch? Because he's dead. That's why he's cold to the touch. So help me fill in. Science tells us, you know, technology, I know you watch TV and court TV and CSI and everything else. Science tells us for his body to be 91.2 in the hospital, that he probably did die around 12:30. Well, we know that. We know that. The problem is that you don't place a call, you don't allow Marilyn to call until 1:55. So there's a problem there. We're trying to fill that timeline from when he died. Science tells us he was dead at 12:30. So we're trying to fill that timeline from 12:30 to 1:55. Okay? So you're not I'm guessing, I'm saying that you're probably panicking, okay? Because Andres is dead. Okay? You know he's dead. All right? But you're not doing anything about that because you don't know what to do. I think that night when you put the car in the garage, because you put the car in the garage, okay? How would you think I would know all this? Okay? I wasn't there. I didn't even talk to you 8 years ago, right? But we go back and I talk to people and now I can figure out what happened. Okay? I believe you put that car in the garage, right? Because you were thinking about taking Andres out of there. That's what I think. Okay? At 12:30, when Andres is dead, and you know he's dead, and you're already telling me you know he's dead, you don't do anything from 12:30 to 1:55 because you're panicking. What am I going to do? What am I going to do? What am I going to do? So the question is, listen, it doesn't matter. Listen, I'm trying to speak to you as man to man. Forget about this. Just as one father to another father, because you say that was your kid, that you loved them like your own. Okay, and I believe that. All right, but something went wrong, Louis. Okay, something went wrong. Okay, in that time frame, he didn't die. He didn't die because of his asthma. He died because he was suffocated. Okay, that's why he died. All right. So all I'm trying to do is just fill in the blanks. All right. You saw the newspaper article. Okay. We've already been to the grand jury. There's a warrant for you for first-degree murder. That's why you're here right now. We brought you back, okay, to serve this warrant on you for first-degree murder. The only thing that we're looking for is to fill in the lines about what happened. Okay. I'm sure, you know, that I'm sure that you're sorry that Andres is dead. I'm sure you didn't want that to happen. Would I be right?
Mm-hmm.
You loved him, right?
Yeah.
You didn't want Andres to die, is that right?
Yeah.
Okay, well, then fill in the blanks for me. Okay, I know he was dead at 12:30. There's not. You can stand there and shake your head all day long and say no, but science tells us he was dead at 12:30. I know he was dead. Okay, I know he was already dead. 12:30 to 1:55. Okay, there's things going on. Things are happening. You're trying to process all this in your mind. Okay, I can only imagine. All right, and maybe in your heart, maybe you thought about calling, but maybe you were unsure if they would believe you or not. I don't know. And I hate the fact that I'm trying to tell you, okay, that I'm telling you what happened, okay, because I have a pretty good idea what happened, right? Maybe between 12:30 and 1:55, maybe you thought about that. Say, man, something bad happened here. But if I tell them right now, they're probably not going to believe me. I don't know. But something is going on from 12:30 to 1:55. Andres is dead. Okay, dead. We know, okay, I believe, Marilyn wanted to do something at 12:30, okay? But you don't do anything at 12:30, okay? You don't want her to call. And you know what I got? I got a copy of the 911 tape, okay? I can hear Marilyn crying, saying he's not breathing. But the problem is, Lewis, at 1:55, he's already dead. He's already cold to the touch. He's already dead. And you know what I hear you? I hear you in the background screaming. Okay? Screaming. You're not trying to help her with CPR. You didn't help her with CPR.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? You're not doing anything but screaming. Okay? Upset, mad, pissed off. Alright?
Frustrated. Frustrated.
Frustrated. Okay? Frustrated. Okay? Screaming in the background. But we know, okay, I'm telling you as sure as I'm sitting here, Andres was dead at 12:30. Why did you not help Andreas from 12:30 to 1:55? Okay, I know he was dead at 12:30. All right, I need to fill in the blank as to what happened. And maybe you thought then that we wouldn't believe you. Okay, I can deal with, hey, he wouldn't stop crying. I got frustrated, whatever the case may be. I'm already frustrated. Things going on in my life. I don't have, I'm not working. I'm trying to do good. This is going on, whatever. I'm frustrated. Andres won't be quiet. Things get out of control. I do stuff that maybe I shouldn't have done, and now he's dead. Okay? I can relate to that. Okay, there are times I get frustrated with my kids. And sometimes I have to catch myself. Because sometimes, look at you. You're a big guy. Andres is 4 years old. It wouldn't take much at all, for you to hurt Andres. I don't believe it was intentional. I don't believe you intentionally hurt him. But you did hurt him. And at 12:30, he was dead. 12:30, he's dead. Okay? From then to then, there's a lot going on in your mind. Now, and stop me if I'm wrong. I don't put words in your mouth. I'm just telling you what I think happened. I think that you are a good man and that you love Andres. Probably before that, there probably wasn't a whole lot of issues. But bro, you can't tell me that this boy is bruised. Okay, I've seen the pictures. I can go get the pictures and show them to you. Him laying on the table at the autopsy. Bruised from his head all the way to his toes. Different stages of bruising. It didn't just happen. Andres has been hit for a while. Just this time he was hit a little bit too much. Okay? He was made to stop crying. And he's not crying anymore. He's not crying anymore. And maybe that's what happened. And maybe now from you know what, and people can understand that. People can understand that people in the heat of the moment lose it. In the heat of the moment do something a little bit too harsh. In the heat of the moment we get frustrated. You didn't want Andres to die, did you? Of course not. Okay? I didn't want him to die. Nobody wanted him to die. But sometimes things happen. Things happen. And the science and the evidence tells us that something happened. Technology and things that happen. People. You know, and in the beginning, Marilyn didn't want to tell us what happened. You know, she didn't want to tell us what happened, but finally she did. She told us what happened. Other people that saw things didn't want to tell us in the beginning because a lot of people were afraid of you. Bad guy. Afraid of you. And I'm even kind of limited and afraid to tell you too much because I don't want you to call somebody and try to have these people hurt or whatever the case may be. I would hope that you wouldn't do that. That's not who you are, is it? But I think there was a time in your life that you were violent. Home invasions, robberies, carjackings. I mean, there were some violent things going on in your life. I don't know what caused that. I don't know if it was the heroin or whatever. But you told me this was a time in your life that you were doing good. But something that night, Lewis, frustrated you. And maybe it was just because he wouldn't be quiet. And sometimes my kids won't be quiet. And I got to leave the room and I got to do something. Okay? Get away from it. Because I'm too big of a person, and you're bigger than I am, to be grabbing a 4-year-old trying to make him quiet. If that's what happened, and it wasn't your intentions to hurt him, and it definitely was not your intentions to kill him, right? But at a time in your life you got stressed out, you couldn't take it anymore, and something bad happened. I understand that. But please don't tell me all these other things you try to tell me, because that doesn't match up. That the first night doesn't match up. Second story doesn't match up. What I'm telling you right now matches up. You know that as well as I know that, because when they got to the hospital, they took his temperature. Okay, thank God they did. Thank God, because then that tells us approximately what time he probably died. And there's a lot going on inside that house. Okay, I know that there's a lot going on inside that house. All right. All I'm trying to do is understand. That's all. I don't think that you did anything on purpose to hurt him. Sometimes, though, things happen. And this night, something bad happened. Okay? I don't think you intended it for happening. Something bad happened. You have to put yourself in my shoes, right? You told me there's no way anybody broke in that house.
Mm-hmm.
You told me that Marilyn was in bed sleeping. Andreas was murdered. Who else is left? There's Victoria, who was 2 years old at the time, and there's yourself, Lewis. There's nobody else in that house that could have injured Andreas but you. You're the only one left. You told me it wasn't Marilyn. She went to bed. Told me it's not Victoria. She was asleep. She's 2 years old. You told me you're the only one that's awake in the house.
Mm-hmm.
And I asked you, I said, anybody break in the house? You say no. I was up. Nobody came in the house.
That's true.
Right? So the only one responsible for Andres' death has got to be who? It's got to be you. There's nobody else left. There's no one else in the house. Put yourself in my seat. What am I supposed to think? There's nobody left. Marilyn's in bed. No one broke in the house. Victoria was 2 years old and she was asleep. And this is not what anybody else is telling me. This is what you're telling me.
Yeah.
And you told them that night. So there's no one else responsible for Andreas' death. But who? But you, Lewis. You're the only one left. You're the only one left. Something happened. I don't think you intended for it to happen, but something happened. Something happened between you and Andreas. Something happened. It did, brother. I'm sorry to be the one to tell you that. And I'm sorry that it's taken 9 years to say that to you. But I'm telling you, just as sure as we're sitting here, there's no one else responsible for his death. I can go get the autopsy report, and you can read it. Okay? If you want me to do it, I'll go get it.
Yeah.
And I'll show it. You want to see it? Okay. already showed you this, the newspaper article, okay? In February 2010. This is by Sashi Gore, who was the medical examiner at the time. This is the amendment that was made February 14th, 2002, and you can see exactly what he has to say. Can you see it? You may raise it up? You good? Okay. Read it to me. What does it say?
New evidence and update were presented by CBT. We discuss this case once again, and I show all the injury part and state of the group that my feelings are that it is not a natural death. It is more probably a case of child abuse resulting in death, involving asphyxiation due to compromising the upper air passage by means of padding of compression of the neck. All the injuries supported from above stem and lungs are heavy. There is front and mouth injuries of the back of the neck in the form of a wide band with no unexpected reaction. What is fine is a consistent with suffocation and asphyxiation. When a condition during the matter of death almost causes as a cardiovascular arrest due to asphyxiation as a consequence of cardiac compression to the neck. Upon this, most of the attendees, including the doctor, agree with me. There's anybody who says I have a question which I attempt to answer as anybody. Better to say I choke him or something.
Well, you're seeing it right there. By compressions of the neck that he was suffocated is what they're saying, that they ruled it
They
homicide.
would have my hand playing on his neck.
Huh?
They would have my hand playing on his neck.
Yeah, they got that. That's what they're explaining there.
Uh-uh.
They're explaining that. Okay, by suppression of the neck, maybe into a pillow or into the bed. Okay, that he couldn't breathe anymore. That's not fake. And the first report, they weren't sure of. You know that. They told you a reason. Back in Easter. Okay. Then he went back and they amended it. Okay, because in the beginning, you remember, they amended 1115 of 01. Okay, they add something to it. But originally, when he died, they didn't rule a homicide. You know that, and I know that. Okay, so I'm not here to try to trick you. I'm not here to try to lie to you. But the same doctor does amend it in November 15th of 2001, and he comes back with this ruling. And once he gets everybody together, he has to write the date down. Now, it's not just us there, it's the child protection team there, it's DCF there, and they're saying that you read the paragraphs yourself, even prior to that, that Andres was abused. I mean, he had injuries beyond that night that shows that he was abused. I had no reason to lie to you, Lewis. You know, I'm here for this beautiful little boy right there, smiling and happy and living life. Okay, how old are you?
35.
35. So you lived 31 more years than he got to live, because he died at 4. And he died as a result of your actions.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, Lewis, I as hard as that is to sit here and tell you, I'm telling you. Okay? It was ruled a homicide. You don't realize by your own admissions what you've already told me, right? Marilyn's in bed, Victoria is sleeping, and you're the only one awake. Okay? We know, I firmly believe, you know, the science evidence is going to show us at 12:30 he's dead. 1:55 you call. Okay, I'm not going to tell you everything that happened that night. I know what happened that night, but I'm not going to tell you everything because you're not even, you're not saying anything. You're agreeing with me that he was dead. You know he was dead, right? And I know that. Then I'm trying to figure out, that maybe you're panicked and you don't want Marilyn to call, and you're telling her she better not call. And I can see you running around, very excited, very anxious, going crazy. What am I going to do now? What am I going to do now? Okay. Did you ever take him from the bed and put him on the floor?
Yeah.
Did you ever take him from the floor and put him in the car?
Mm-mm.
Did you ever move him from that room?
Mm-mm.
Are you willing to take a polygraph?
Yeah.
You will take a
I
polygraph?
will take it.
Okay. All right. Well, that's something that we'll schedule then, because we don't do it here, but FDLE has an agent that she'll come in and she'll administer the polygraph. Okay. If we have to go that far, I would rather get the truth of what happened today. All right. Because the polygraph is going to tell me what I'm telling you right now. All right. Because
do you say so?
well, I mean, I'd be willing. It's not if I say so, Louis, and trust me. This is hard for me to sit here and tell you this. It's not easy for me to tell you this, okay? But I'm being as honest as I can. All right? Do you honestly think that you're going to pass a polygraph?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, tell me what happened. Tell me what happened between 12:30 and 1:55. Because he's dead at 12:30. Tell me what happened between 12:30 and 1:55. You tell me what happened. What happened after you found him? What happened after he's dead? What happens?
Okay.
Fill in that over an hour of time that happens in the house. Tell me what happens. Because he's already dead. You know he's dead. Marilyn knows he's dead. He's not breathing at 12:30. You don't call until 1:55. Tell me what happens in that house for the next hour and a half. What happened?
Oh, I told you.
Like you told me you're in agreement with me. Okay, that 12:30 he's not breathing. All right, it was a short time after you went in the house. I'm giving you an hour that it took for this incident to take place. But from 12:30 to 1:55,
That's an hour and a half.
what's going on?
I
You know he's not breathing. Marilyn knows he's not breathing. Okay, what's going on?
I don't know.
Well, I mean, you're the only one. Is it true that you're the only one awake?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, you're the only one that can tell me, bro. I can't tell you what happened. I wasn't there. What happens from 12:30 to 1:55? There's a reason why you're not calling. Why aren't you calling? Were you afraid
Mm-mm.
that something was going to happen to you? Were you afraid that people weren't going to believe you? Okay. Well, then tell me what happens from 12:30 to 1:55. You tell me. You fill in the blanks, and we'll be done. Tell me what happens.
Like I told you, from 12:30 to 1 o'clock, I went to check the kids.
Okay.
If I'm mistaken, the hour.
Okay.
About 1 o'clock.
Okay. That's fine. I'll give you the 1 o'clock. What happens from 1 o'clock to 1:55?
I know.
Something's going on. You already know he's not breathing. You know he's dead at we'll say 1 o'clock. I'll give you 30 minutes. I know it was 12:30, but I'll play along and I'll give you the 1 o'clock. So from 1 o'clock to 1:55. What's going on, man? What's going on?
I don't know. I called Marilyn right away.
Huh?
I called Marilyn right away.
Uh-huh.
And she got up and she dialed 911.
Okay, but she doesn't call until 1:55.
I don't know what it's saying. I don't know. I don't know what to tell you right now.
I'm just guessing. I'm just guessing. Everybody else is in bed. Nobody broke in the house. There's got to be a reason why you're not calling. If you loved him, why aren't you calling at 12:30? Why aren't you calling at 12:30? Why aren't you calling at 1 o'clock? Why aren't you calling at 1:30? You're not calling until 1:55. And Marilyn's begging you to call. Give me the phone. Now you first tell in your first statement. You first say in the first statement that you were on the computer and that you had to log off the computer to get the phone. Now let me ask you a question. If you love that baby and that baby's hurting, Man, you're going to take time to log off the computer? So you haven't even told me that today. So you told them the first story that you had to log off the computer, you had to go do all this. Andres is dead.
Unplug the
Right.
computer.
Okay, you unplug it and then what? So did that happen? Did you forget about that, or did you just make that up?
On the computer?
Were you on the computer?
Yeah.
Okay. So now, if you're on the computer at 12:30, okay, it's going to show the times that you were on the computer. So when you unplug the computer, right? But you don't unplug the computer until 1:55 for her to use the phone. So what's going on at 12:30, 1 o'clock to 1:55? Am I making sense? Is this making sense to you? You understand that we have an hour of time, right, that's unaccounted for. An hour of time after you know that Andres is hurt, something's wrong with him, he's not breathing, but you're not calling the police. You're not calling 911. You're not calling for an ambulance. Okay, I'm trying to understand why you're not calling. There's got to be a reason why you're not calling. What's the reason? What's going on? Tell me why. Were you afraid that we wouldn't believe you as to what happened? Were you afraid that you lost control for a little bit? I mean, what's going on? Tell me if you love him. You telling me you love him. Tell me why you do not call at 12:30. You don't call at 1 o'clock. You don't call until 1:55. And Marilyn says she wanted to call in the beginning, but you didn't want to let her call to over here. Tell me why, right? Tell me why you're not calling.
That's a lie right there.
Okay, well, she's passed all the tests we gave her. All right? She's telling the truth. All right? She tells us that there's an issue with him at 12:30. Okay? Now, the hospital, the body temperature tells us the same thing, that there's an issue with him at 12:30. Would you agree with that? He's hurt at 12:30. You and Marilyn know he is hurt at 12:30. That's what she told me. She wasn't proud of it. But she knows it's here at 12:30 that he's hurt. But you don't call until 1:55. Right? Science is showing us that. His body temperature, we know he's hurt here. And she's telling me that. She told me, yes, Detective Mosier, he's hurt right here. But we still don't call. We don't call until 1:55. She tells me you carried Andres' body out of that room into the garage. Is she lying?
Hell yeah.
Okay. All right. Relax. So you never took his body out of there?
Hell no. When the police came, he can tell you that he was laying down on the floor in his room.
I'm talking about before the police got there. Because I'm trying... Yeah, she's telling me... Listen, she's telling me things that are happening between 12:30 and 1:55. You're saying you don't know. She's telling me what's going on. Okay? Things are going on in that time frame. All right? That's her version. That's all I have. If that's not what's going on, you tell me what's going on. Because you're in agreement that at 12:30 or 1 o'clock, there's a problem with Andreas, but you don't get help until 1:55. So what are y'all doing? She has a version. She says, you're right. He was hurt right here. An hour after we got home, he's hurt. Right? She's telling me what happened. Okay? You're not telling me anything. So what do I believe? Do I believe her that's telling me from 12:30 to 1:55? What am I supposed to believe, Louis? She's telling me that both of you knew at 12:30 that he's hurt. Okay? Nobody's calling, right? But she says, I know we didn't call until 1:55. She's telling me he's hurt at 12:30. The evidence is telling me he's hurt at 12:30. You're telling me he's hurt at 12:30 or even at 1 o'clock. So something is going on from 1 o'clock, 12:30, 1 o'clock to 1:55. Does that make sense to you?
Yeah, it's an open window, brother.
Huh?
It's an open window.
It's open window. Because you and Marilyn know he's something wrong with him at 12:30. Right? Or 1 o'clock. But you don't call until here. Both of you say, she says 12:30. You say 1 o'clock. But both of you are agreeing, and you're sitting here agreeing with me now that there's something wrong with Andreas at 12:30 or 1 o'clock. Something's wrong with him. He's not breathing. He's pale. He's cold to the touch. He's all intents and purposes, probably taking his last breaths at 12:30. But we wait until 1:55 to call. At 1:55, the ambulance and everybody gets there. The hospital says when they touch Andres, he is cold to the touch. He didn't just die. He died back here. He died around 12:30, 1 o'clock when he died. He didn't die at 1:55. That's when y'all called. But you knew something was wrong with him at 12:30, 1 o'clock. Right?
Yeah.
Okay? But you don't call until 1:55. So what's going on, bro? Tell me what's going on. She did. She told me what's going on. The only thing I can believe is what you tell me. If you don't tell me anything, then I got to go on what she said. From 12:30 to 1:55. Or 1 o'clock to 1:55. Okay, she's telling me things are happening. Okay? If you didn't take his body out of that room, if you didn't move the car and put it in the garage, if you didn't take his body out to the car and bring it back and lay him on the floor, if you didn't do any of that, then tell me what you did. Tell me what you did, bro. Tell me.
Estoy already, man. I work it over. I told her call 911. They ain't breathing.
What time does she call? One what?
You say 1:55.
Oh, it's not what I say. We have a computer printout. 1:55. The call comes in. 1:55. It's not what I say. That's what happened. You're both telling me something's wrong with Andreas at 12:30. She says 12:30. You say 1 o'clock. Okay, so she didn't call right away. She's saying, yeah, there was something wrong with Andreas at 12:30. There's something really wrong because he's not breathing. Okay? She says you don't allow her to call 911 if she wants to call. She's begging to call. You don't let her call. Finally, at 1:55, you tell her to call. You can call now.
That's a lot.
You better not.
Man.
Okay, well then tell me what happened from 12:30 to 1:55. If she's lying, what happened? You both tell me he's dead here. Something's wrong. He's not breathing. He's not responding at 12:30. Well then tell me, Lewis, what happens? If she's lying, tell me what happens. Tell me, because you told her to call as soon as you found him, but we both know that's a lie. Because she's saying that she found him, that y'all found him at 12:30. You say 1 o'clock. She doesn't call until 1:55. So that's a lie. You didn't tell her to call immediately. That's a lie. We know that's a lie. She's saying that's a lie. You're saying I told her to call. She doesn't call until 1:55. She says she doesn't call here because you won't let her. You allow her to call right here. You say that's a lie. Well, if that's a lie, tell me why you didn't call. Tell me, bro. From here to here. Why don't you call? She's telling me what happened. She fills the window of what happened. Okay? Was there any guns in the house? Did you own a firearm at that time? Is that no? Is that no? You saying no?
No.
Okay. When you did your armed robberies, carjackings, home invasions, what'd you go? Did you do it by hand or did you take a weapon? When you did your robberies?
I had it on my homeboy had it.
What do you have? A gun?
Yeah.
Okay. So you've never had a gun. You've never taken anything by force with a gun. No? Okay, so you don't own any guns. No guns in the house. Never owned a gun. Okay, perfect. What happens? Because, well, let me back up. If you told Marilyn to do something, did she do it? If you told her to go cook us something to eat, did she go do it? Before her accident, did she do what you asked her to do?
Yeah.
She would. So then tell me why she didn't call at 12:30. If you told her to call at 12:30, why didn't she call?
I don't know. She's the only one that can ask you to answer you that.
Well, I asked her. She said because you told her not to. So why? Well, bro, the call don't come to 1:55, right? It's not that hard. Listen, outside of this room, somebody has nothing to do with it. You know, the Pope looking in at this story. Okay? Anybody and their mother can see there's a hole in your story. There's a window here. There's a gap in your story. Right? She's telling us, she says this is what happened. And you're going, she's lying, she's lying. Okay? Well then tell me what happened for that last hour and a half. Tell me. She told me. Right? And if she does what you tell her to do, and you said earlier, as soon as you told her to call, she called. Is that right? But she doesn't call. Is that right? When you told her to call, she called. But she didn't call till over here. So what would one think? If you both know he's hurt here, if he's hurt right here, he's not breathing, he's not responding, you didn't tell her to call. Because you'd have told her to call, she'd have called at 12:30. Or she'd have called at 1 o'clock. But she didn't call until 1:55.
She should have called, make her own call though.
Huh?
She couldn't make her own call. She ain't got to follow what I say.
Oh, she doesn't have to follow?
No.
Okay.
No, nothing like that.
Okay. So at 12:30, when he's hurt, she should have called.
She was sleeping.
Huh?
She was sleeping.
She was sleeping
Yeah.
at 12:30?
Yeah.
But he's hurt at 12:30. You woke her up and said he's hurt.
Yeah,
Right.
but not 12:30, but 1 o'clock.
Okay. I'm just telling you what she said. She said at 12:30. Okay, she's not proud of what she did. She said she didn't call. Andres wasn't breathing at 12:30. That's what she said, right? So 12:30, 1 o'clock. You told me yourself. You came in the house, right? You did what you had to do, and it was about 12:30. You went and checked on the kids, or 1 o'clock. I'll give you the 1 o'clock. You go and check on the kids. You find him at 1 o'clock. He's not breathing. You tell her, call 911. She does it right away. But we know that's a lie because she doesn't call until 1:55. But if you're telling me at 12:30 or 1 o'clock, you said, hey, both of us knew she was injured, and you're right. You're both wrong for not calling. You're both wrong. Okay? And you're saying she could have called. Is that what you're saying? Okay. So we agree that at 12:30 to 1 o'clock, Andres ain't breathing. Okay? And that she could have called or you could have called, but neither one of you called. And then at 1:55, you tell her call and she calls. Is that right? It's not right. Okay, well, what's wrong? Tell me what's wrong with the story. And now I'm confused.
Because I never going to keep her from calling.
Huh?
I'm going to keep her from calling 911.
Right. I'm saying at 12:30, when she's saying at 12:30 that Andres had a problem, he wasn't breathing. I'm saying at 12:30, you're telling me she could have called, right?
Yeah.
But she didn't call. And she tells me, she's telling me, Detective Mosher, you're right. There was a problem with Andres at 12:30, and I didn't call. And she's saying that she didn't call at 12:30 because you wouldn't let her call. But you're telling me she could have called at 12:30, right?
Oh,
You weren't going to stop her. Or 1 o'clock. But she doesn't call until 1:55. So we're in agreement that there's a problem with Andres between 12:30 and 1 o'clock. She says 12:30, you say 1 o'clock. You say you checked on him at 12:30, but then you say, possibly 1 o'clock. So 12:30, 1 o'clock. However you want to say it. There's an hour and a half that she doesn't call. There's an hour that you don't call, but eventually she calls because she says at that time you allow her to call. But we're in agreement from 12:30 or 1 o'clock when she saw Andres, and that makes sense because when you came in the house, you did your shower. She had him in the tub. You do your thing. He goes to the bed, wants the chocolate. I'll give you an hour. I'll give you to 12:30, right? Well, we know at 12:30 something's wrong in Andres' room at 12:30. And you say 1 o'clock. I'm cool with that, all right? She's already admitted to me at 12:30 something was wrong with Andres, and she didn't call. She's wrong for that. But she says she didn't call because you wouldn't allow her to call. Fine. She's lying. She could have called at 12:30, right? Because you didn't stop her. She could have called, right? So if she didn't call at 12:30, why didn't you call at 1 o'clock?
I told her to call.
Huh?
I told her to call.
But you didn't tell her to call until 1:55.
No, man.
Bro, you can't. Listen, there are some things that you can beat, but you can't beat 911 because it documents it. And it's documented at 1:55. I can't lie to you about that. I can't make that up. It comes in on a computer screen. Boom, your address pops up. Okay? It says that this address on Haley Ridge, right? Pops up, says the call came from this house at this time. Okay? I'm glad you told her to call. Right? Because she didn't call at 12:30. I'm glad that you told her to call. But you told her to call a little bit later, 1:55. But at least you told her to call. She never called on her own. Right? You had to make her call. So what's going on from 1 o'clock? We'll say 1 o'clock. She says 12:30. You say 1 o'clock. What's going on for the next hour? Why does it take an hour? Is she just not listening to you when you tell her to call? What's going on? know either, bro. Only you know. Only you, Andres, Marilyn, Victoria was asleep. So only 3 of you know. Okay? Andres is telling me, by his injuries and by science, that it happened way back there. And you agree with that. 12:30, 1 o'clock, we had a problem with Andres. He's not breathing. I just need to fill the window. That's it. I need to fill the window from 1 to 1:55. Andres can't tell me anything else, because at 12:30 he stopped talking. He stopped crying. He's dead. He can't talk anymore. Okay, but I know he died right here. But I know there's no help for him until right here. Marilyn tells me what's going on. You say she's lying. All I need you to do is fill the window, and we're done. You know, did she just not listen to you at 12:30? And she listened to you at 1:55? You know, what happened? You know, what happened? Because I can build the timeline, and I can build when there was a problem, and even you tell me there's a problem. You go to check on them at 12:30, you say, maybe I meant 1 o'clock. So you told me out of your own mouth there's a problem at 1 o'clock. She says 12:30. Call doesn't come in until 1:55. Actually, she calls the first time, and she gets disconnected. Sheriff's office calls back, okay? And they get her on the phone again. She begins requesting for the ambulance. They're directing the CPR. But he's already cold, like this water you drank. His body's already cold at 1:55, okay? He's already getting cold at 1:55. All I need you to do, fill in the blank for me, okay? We agree that she could have called on her own at 12:30, right? She could have called on her own at 1 o'clock. But she didn't call, right? You said you told her to call. Well, why did it take her an hour and a half to call? Because she told me at 12:30 there's a problem with Andres at 12:30.
So she wasn't sleeping.
Huh?
She told you she wasn't sleeping.
Oh, she went in there and tried to act like she was sleeping at 12:30. But she said you called her at 12:30, and she went in there and Andres was unresponsive. He wasn't moving. He wasn't breathing in. And then she says you go outside and put the car into the garage, right? And the neighbors tell me that's true. That you come home at 11:36 because your muffler woke them up at 11:36. Then, because one of them even came outside to see what was going on. Okay? So we know that time is accurate. We know they're right on the money because they tell us the times. You're telling me the time. Then they say a little bit later, come out and get the car and you put the car in the garage. You say, you'll never do that. You'll never put the car in the garage. But that night you did. And what's the reason why you put the car in the garage? Now, what she tells me makes sense. So, if you didn't take his body and put it in the car, why did you put the car in the garage when there was a problem with Andres? Why did you come out and put the car in the garage? Why didn't you put Andres in the car and take Andres to the hospital? But you didn't do that. So if she's lying about why you put the car in the garage, then you tell me why you put the car in the garage. You told me you put the car in the garage. Why'd you put the car in the garage, Louis?
So nobody stole it.
You didn't do it the night before. You didn't do it the next night.
No, the next night I was still in the hospital.
No. The nights prior, before. A week before. They said they never ever saw you come out and put the car in the garage late at night. Never. The car stayed in the driveway. But that night, after midnight, you put the car into the garage. Why? Why? We know why. Okay, well, if I'm wrong, I'm sorry. I'll be the first one to apologize to you. Okay. 12:30, we know there's something wrong with Andres. We don't get a call until 1:55. You tell me. Do you feel bad about what happened?
Yeah.
Are you sorry for what happened?
That changed my whole life.
I'm sorry?
That changed my whole life.
That changed your whole life? So you're sorry about what happened? Okay. I'm sorry too. I'm sorry that Andres is not here, and I'm sorry I had to be the one to tell you all these things. Sorry. If you could go back in time, would you change? No? You do everything the same way?
In the house, yeah.
Okay.
The street was the street, my house was my house, man.
Mm-hmm. I understand. But you understand that Andres died as a result of a homicide. He was murdered. You understand that? He wasn't murdered in the street. He was murdered in your house. I don't think you meant to do it on purpose.
I had nothing to do with it.
Huh?
I had nothing to do with that.
Well, Louis, tell me who else is left, and let me go talk to him. Who else is left?
He wasn't with me and mine in the house, I was sick.
And you said Marilyn was in bed.
Mm-hmm.
Andres is dead. Then who killed him?
I don't know.
Hmm? I don't think you intended to hurt him. I don't think you meant to hurt him. But Andres was hurt. There's nobody else for me to go talk to. You're it. I already talked to Marilyn. I've already talked to the witnesses. You're the last one. But I know you didn't do it on purpose. I know you didn't intend to do it on purpose. Things got out of hand.
If they got a hand, you know, it wasn't by me, man.
Who else, Louis? Who else? Tell me who to go talk to. I'll go talk to him. There's no one else in the room. I think it was an accident.
No, I mean,
Who, bro? Who? Tell me who.
I don't know. That I personas son algo madre, o no son igual de eso.
Say it again, I'm sorry.
De las personas son alive or Marilyn.
Mm-hmm. The last time you saw him alive was with Marilyn?
Yeah.
Okay. I thought you said you fed him chocolate.
Yeah, I left the room.
Hmm?
I left the room.
Mm-hmm. I thought you said that last time you're the one that put him to bed.
No, it wasn't me, it was Marilyn.
Marilyn put him to bed?
Yeah.
Okay. What time did she put him to bed?
I think about 12. Something like that.
Put him to bed at 12? Okay. And when did you go check on him?
About 1.
So who was in the room between 12 and 1?
I don't know.
You don't know? Okay. All right. And you willing to take a polygraph?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. We'll take a little break. I'll be right back.
And you bring a cigarette with you?
Sir?
You bring a cigarette with you?
I don't smoke, man. I gotta go try to bribe one. I'll be back.
Y yo más picando, que lo voy.
If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe, give this video a thumbs up, and press the notification bell. Additionally, you can view our playlists and most recent videos. Thank you for watching.